I'm not doing nothing today. I'm kicking back, enjoying the Sabbath. A lot of people celebrate on Sunday. I celebrate on Saturday. Not up to me to say whether it makes a difference or not. Personally, I don't think the Pope had authority to change it. So I like to celebrate it on the day it was meant. And that wasn't Sunday, but Saturday. And what better if I was the devil to, start out confusing people than to change the Sabbath day. Yeah, that'd be a major one right off the bat, wouldn't it? Well, hey, let's go outside here. Look at the weather and spark one up, shall we? Oh! Let me find my glasses. I don't want to go out without my glasses. Hope everybody's doing good today. Oh, goodness. Let's step outside. Let's light this thing up and do a walk around. Make sure the camera's stand off enough a little bit there. Well, today I'm doing a question and answer type thing. If you have a question, I'll do my best to answer it. I know everybody's all into getting ready for the Christmas season here. How you doing? Howdy, howdy. Thank you. Well, thank you. I am 420 Jim. Google that. You'll see hundreds of stories about me. Most of them are true. Just type in 420JIM under Google. Facebook, spell it out. Use my legal name. FOURTWENTYJIM. Or screenshot that. Takes you straight to Facebook. No one belongs in prison for weed. And if you believe that, please sign that petition. This one's on elder abuse. Nobody needs to be abusing our elders. And here in a couple of weeks, I'll give you more on this one. But you'll be surprised, especially the people that are doing the elder abuse. And when I show you, you'll see their mentality. And then, of course, this one here is the one for releasing all of our pot prisoners. Nobody belongs in jail for weed. Let me see if I can read these comments for a minute. Oh, you just did right on, right on, right on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hot Moxville. No. It's the Cannebago. Well, it used to be the Cannabis years ago. I just repainted it. We're doing a new mission. You see all these signatures on the door? They used to be 10 times that on the body of the motorhome. Okay, I come off the road to get eye surgery, and between surgeries, I just repainted it. As you can see, it's all repainted. It's almost done. And good Lord willing, the creek don't rise, and I can get up the funds. I will. Oh, you're my next door neighbor. There you go. Right on. I can get up the funds. I will be making another trip. I will be going from Black Canyon City, Arizona, to Washington, D.C., to let Congress and Trump and them know about my petition. Hopefully by then we get a bunch of signatures on them. Okay? And then I'll be returning back here to Black Canyon City, Arizona after that. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. So I have surgery in a couple of weeks, and that will tell a lot. That will tell whether I'm going to lose my right eye or if I'm going to get vision back in it. Pretty much. So I can use a few prayers on that one. Woo, here, let me get a chair here and sit down. Sit down here. I normally don't smoke doobies. I normally don't smoke joints because I can't afford it. But I was blessed, an early Christmas present. Someone blessed me with a bag of pot. A big bag of pot. And it's so big, I actually blessed one of my neighbors with it, with a little of it. That's what you do, because that's what we're here on earth for, take care of one another. And if we learn that, we move on to our next spot in life and be happy, I think. Well, pretty much anything. Okay, like last year when I was in Texas there for a while, when I first got my eyes operated on before the people at Awesome Possum Van and Recreation screwed me over, I was smoking hemp flower, 0.3. Looks good, but wouldn't get a fly stoned. All the way up to Jack Harris strains, When I'm out on the road, lots of people will share with me. They want to smoke one with me normally. Because I kid you not, my legal name is 420 Jim. First name 4, middle name 20, last name is Jim. I do the wax of the pen, but, I can't afford them. Now, the wax is actually cheaper. Because when I was in Colorado a couple years ago, I was going to retire, but that didn't work out. I stayed on the road. I could go buy a gram of wax for $20, or I could go buy a gram of good weed for $20. The weed would last me a day. The wax would last me 3 days. So you tell me which is the better deal. Here, I'll show you something here. I don't have the best camera in the world, but see that last name's on top? Jim. First name 4, middle name 20. So, I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk, my friends. And it's time to get this stuff changed. Nobody belongs in jail for weed. Nobody. If they have weed charges alone, they should have already been released. And some states are doing it under state law. That's cool. But they should have already done it under federal law, which they haven't. But Trump did something really good last time he was in office that nobody's talking about. And that's why we got to where we are, and why some of the federal prisoners that are out. He put in a program before he left office. I don't want to talk on it because I don't remember what the program was named and whatnot. But a friend of mine, their loved one and stuff got early release because of the program that Trump signed. I just can't think of the name of it. So maybe, just maybe, we can get them to listen to facts. And I think Trump is a president that wants the American people that can legally own a firearm and defend themselves to be able to. Well, if you keep cannabis, marijuana, as a class 1 narcotic, nobody can own a gun or ammunition. Yeah. So people need to keep that in mind too. No federal law has been changed. It's still a class 1 narcotic. hallucinogenic. God, I ain't never found none of that. I'd love to. No medical value. Well, it has no medical value. How come states have been selling it for 10 plus years now? I mean, I've been on the road. Well, this would be going on the 11th year in March. You know what I mean? How come all these states have been selling it more and more each year? They're proving how good and great it is, not how bad it was. But see, it's all been a lie since the 1970s when Richard Nixon is the one that made it a class 1 narcotic. Period. And he did that so no one could research the medical value of it without going to jail for violating patent rights. And they don't care if people smoke pot. They never did back then. They just didn't want hemp fuel, hemp paper, hemp plastic. You know, anything made of wood or plastic can be made from the same plant. Oh, I'm in Arizona. We have Arizona here. We have recreational and medical both. And you know what? State law will tell you can have a firearm and ammunition. State laws will tell you that. But federal laws will tell you can't. And if they wanted to go that route, everybody's got to realize, I don't care what state they are, every one of them is controlled by the federal government. Every one of them. You know how that woman don't like you that evening and wants to close them legs and you don't get none? That's our federal government. If they don't like you, they go close them legs, you ain't gonna get none. And that's simple. Yeah, our federal government's lied to us. You know, prior to the 1930s, cannabis was in 80% of the world's medicines. Wow, funny, you never heard of all these diseases and shit we have nowadays back then. Most people, they've never heard of Henry Ford and his hemp car. Google that sometime. You know Henry Ford, way back in the day, made a car, the body was made of hemp and resin. This is made out of fiberglass and resin. Well, hemp and resin is 10 times stronger and 1,000 pounds lighter than steel. And back in that day, (1930s, 40s, whatever it was), Henry Ford built the hemp car and it ran on hemp fuel. No, wow. Yeah, just Google Henry Ford hemp car. I'll tell you another one that's fun to Google. I had an officer. Of course, I run into officers all the time. But I was parked somewhere, and a sheriff come by, and he parked beside me and walked around and, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, hey, what's up? This, that, and the other. At first, I tell him, you know, I don't answer questions and stuff, you know. And then he's like being really cool, you know, oh man, I just was wondering what this was about and the pitch and, you know, tell me why marijuana's good and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, cool. 45 minutes later, which he listened, everything was cool. No, I don't think I am. So, damn, I forgot where I was at now. Is the weed? No, I haven't. Well, heck, I'll have to finish that story at another time. I forgot what that. See? Temporary amnesia. Go stone. Oh, there's so many cop ones, though. Which one was it? Let me think a second. And, God, there's so many. The sheriff one. Yeah, I remember now. Oh, trust me, there's thousands of cop ones. But I was talking about the one sheriff that come by, and now I don't know what the story related to. Okay, and we'd been talking, and I told him about the Henry Ford hemp car and stuff. Right before he was getting ready to leave, I said, "I bet you don't know Abraham Lincoln's two favorite things to do you?" He says, "I bet you're going to tell me smoke pot." And I said, "No, sir. No, sir. Google will tell you that." And he's like, "No way." And he takes off around the bus to his patrol car, reaches in and gets his phone out, comes back, puts it on Google and says, "Abraham Lincoln's favorite thing to do on his front porch." And Google proceeds to tell him to smoke his pipe full of sweet hemp and play the harmonica. That was one of our presidents back in the day. Favorite thing to do, sit on his front porch. Not smoke hemp, but sweet hemp. See, they knew the difference back then between dirt weed and good weed. And to play his harmonica. Now, that's the type of president we need right here and now. Come on, Trump. Get out a harmonica in a joint, fire one up, and have a hoedown with Willie Nelson and Snoop Dogg on the White House grounds. Wouldn't that be something, America? God, wouldn't that be something? That would be something. You talk about America great again. You know, if the whole world right now lit up a joint, what would happen? We'd have world peace for a couple hours. You know, drop buds, not bombs. Yeah, we need to get Snoop Dogg, Willie, Mr. Willie Nelson, and Mr. Trump together. We do. We really do. Make America great again. Hot box the world. There you go. You know, when the cannabis plant grows, it takes 25% more carbon monoxide out of the air than any other plant on Earth. That means it's scrubbing it. Not only, which I learned, there was a time I didn't think cannabis made oxygen, but I was wrong, and I can admit that, because I've told people before they were wrong that it don't make oxygen. It does. It does produce oxygen, but nowhere near the levels our trees and stuff do. So, you know, quit killing the trees. Anything made of wood, anything made of wood can be made from the hemp plant. Anything made from petroleum, plastic and all, can be made from the hemp plant. Now, I'm not saying get rid of petroleum and all, because, you know, we'd have to cover the world to get that much hemp, you know, to do all hemp. And the process, it'd be impossible, pretty much. Could be done maybe, but yeah. But if we use hemp along with petroleum, we got it kicked. They're stupid fighting over all these different resources and lithium batteries and whatnot. You have to run engines to charge the batteries. You know, something has to charge them batteries. It's a big-ass scam. The whole thing is a big-ass scam. Hemp fuel. We could produce hemp fuel and probably get it about 58, 59 cents a gallon by the time we was done. 1 acre of marijuana makes 300 gallons of fuel. Henry Ford did it back in that day. So there's no difference. A little hard to stay lit today. Nice and resonated. Oh yeah. But yeah, here's where I get a look at. Woohoo! That's my front yard right there. Black Canyon City. Love it. I don't like the chemtrails overhead, but other than that, beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you. And please do me a favor, people. All you got to do is, I mean, it don't cost nothing to subscribe to this. So everybody that subscribes, thank you. God bless you. You know, you help me spread the message. And the message is nobody belongs in jail for weed, and everybody needs a little Jesus. So if you believe everybody needs a little Jesus, and the fact that nobody belongs in jail for weed, yeah, please join my channel, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down, I don't care. Give it a good comment, a bad comment. I don't care. As long as you interact with it, that brings the algorithm up. Fools will show their fools. Liars will show their liars. And, everybody will just be fine in the end. You'll see. I've got a couple haters that's tried for 4 years to shake me, and they still can't. The power of God above is way better than their power. Way better. That one is to release all cannabis prisoners. Nobody belongs in jail for weed. This one is for elder abuse. And no, I didn't spell elder on there. I've had my trolls already mentioned that in a video or something. I didn't know how to spell them. That's cool. I don't. But that's not what that was supposed to. It was just supposed to let me know that was the elder one. You ever abbreviate where only you know what it is? But I'm not embarrassed. I left it on there, didn't I? It gets lettered like on the other side. And then that's my Cash App. People that make a donation and want to get their name or something put on this to go with me in the journey, all they do is they make a donation, tell me what they want, a cross, a heart, a peace sign, a pot leaf or something. If this is TikTok, it's a Japanese maple leaf. Just get hold of me and I can put something on there. Yes, and please tell everybody about this. Tell them that there's a guy. Seriously, if you go look, I've been on the road 10 years doing this. This is not my first rodeo. Mr. Obama was in office when I first started out with the very first RV. Okay, here we go again. That's to help it out. Yeah. See, I just don't have the lettering on the other side yet. That one's for my Facebook. You don't know this one, but if you want to screenshot that and send it along. Friend made a $20 donation. He's here on this live a lot of times, named Sean. He donated $20 and had me put 1 cross plus 3 nails equals forgiven. I love that. This is a petition close to me and my heart. The pot petition one is too, but I really, really, really need people to start signing this one. Brand new petition for me. What's it hurt? Just read it if you believe in it, that nobody, the elder don't need to be hurt and what. Please sign it and share it. That one needs help. I've actually got people that this petition is that pushed me to writing this petition. Still sending me messages and stuff saying, oh, there's only 30. Nobody cares. And bragging, which a couple of them did sign the petition themselves. What kind of sick people do that? There's a petition against elder abuse, and the couple of people doing the abuse signed the petition. That ain't sick in the head people. I don't know what is. And why we just get a bong. I've had 2 RVs. The first one was a 1978 Kings Highway. Like I said, you go search my name on Google or go down my Facebook and all, you'll see it. That was back when I did the march in D.C. when I had that one. Back in the Obama era and stuff. 2015, I was asked to be the voice of the vets in Kokomo, Indiana. I mean, there's just so many things that's happened. Do I have a BONF? I don't know what that is. Oh, bong. Okay. No, I don't carry paraphernalia. Oh, I'll show you my pipe in a minute. You want to see my pipe? I'll show you my pipe. Which I normally use because normally I can't afford to roll joints, but I was gifted a nice gift. There you go. That's my cannabis pipe right there. when you smoke some of the nuggy nugs, when you want to put a couple of nugs, But hey, I like this. The cannabis that was gifted to me day before yesterday. Oh, I love it, man. I love it. It's like a fair grade that you could get at a dispensary, but it's grown in dirt. It's not grown in chemicals, and it's grown in the dirt. Some people would call it homegrown, but definitely don't have the homegrown taste or nothing. But if you ask me, any pot that grows outside is homegrown, as long as man don't grow it over rocks and in a bucket. Well, I've always used a can because most of my life, growing up and all, cannabis has been illegal. So you can imagine what started this mission was, hang on a sec. What started all this, I was living in Farmington, New Mexico. And we're talking a dozen years ago. I was living in Farmington, New Mexico, minding my own business in my 50s, doing the flea market thing, whatever. I pissed off a deputy sheriff over him not writing a Comcast cable ticket for no insurance. Which, if they had insurance, it didn't hit me and my friend in the truck, we would have had no problem. But anyhow, that cop, he used his buddies at the G2 Drug Task Force to set me up on 2 counts of sales of marijuana. And back then, I had that first motorhome I was telling you about, the 78 Kings Highway. And I just had, you see how these decals? I just put like the 380th decal on it. And they all had a number, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what you did at the flea market was tell me what number, look on the RV and what number you like number 69, and what color, pink, blue, gold, whatever. And I'd go in and cut it out for you real quick. And I'd do them for $3 each or 2 for $5. And, it weren't too bad. And that's why I had that RV and all. Well, one day, guy comes by with a friend in a pickup truck and says, "Hey man, can you get me a couple grams?" And I'm like, "Sure." I called up a friend and he come back and forth, and boom, I didn't get $1. I didn't even get to hit the joint, or smell the bud. The second day he came back, "Hey, yeah, we almost got the job finished up, lunch break, can you do that again?" And okay. And I called up a friend, and once again they done it. Now I might do something like that a half dozen to a dozen times in a year, because not many people ask you for pot or And Farmington, New Mexico was only 30, 40 miles from Durango. Durango, Colorado had totally legal weed. And that used to piss me off. I go do a job in Durango and I could buy weed, smoke weed, and everything's fine. But if I came back home and got caught with it, 30 minutes later, I was going to go to prison. But I just, didn't bother nobody or nothing until this happened. Well, it was about 4 weekends later. So I'd say a month later, I'd borrowed my friend's truck and went to go pick something up. They were all at the flea market. And when I get back, his name was Jim. Mr. Jim says, "What are you helping the U.S. Marshals with?" And I'm like, "What?" "I ain't helping." "Yeah, the Marshals was here looking for you." Said, "You was helping them with something." And I'm like, no, I'm going to jail. I don't know why, but, would you watch my stuff? Because they said he's coming back. I said, would you? And me and him was partners. I said, "Jim, will you watch my stuff? I have no idea, but I know I'm going to jail. The only time a U.S. Marshal's looking for you is he's got an order to bring you in front of a judge, to bring you in." Or that's been my experience. And I go into the office, and Kathy, the sweetest little lady you'd ever meet in your life, that owned the Farmington Flea Market, I think she's passed now, rest her soul, she said the same thing. "Hey, what are you helping the Marshals with?" And I told her, "Kathy, nothing." Because, see, I lived at the flea market down by the house. I'd open the bathrooms and close them on the weekends, stuff like that, help out where I could. I told her, I said, "Kathy, I don't know. I said, I'm going to jail." "What for?" "I don't know. I know I'm going to jail, but I honestly don't know what for." And I get back to my stand, and, we're sitting there. Jim stands next to mine. We're sitting in chairs, whatnot. Here comes this pickup up and around behind the back of the flea market. Looks like an oil field rig, with pickup with oil field workers and tools in the back and stuff. Looks just like that. And I could just look in through the windshield and tell it was them. Just as Jim says, that's them there. And I said, I know it. And I got up and I started walking forward, and I put both my hands out like that. And sure enough, they put my hands behind my back and tell me I'm under arrest, that they didn't know what for, that they couldn't tell me anything, that they did not know what for, but that there was a warrant for my arrest. And hey, that's pretty scary when you get arrested for something that even the marshals that are picking you up can't tell you what for. Trust me, that's scary. And let me write my roots and I'll try and finish this up for you. I can't swear, but I think the first deputy that I had the problem with about the insurance ticket, I'd almost swear it was him, but I can't swear that it is because I'm not 100% positive. But a smart-ass deputy come in while I'm sitting there with the marshal, and he's, we got you for 2 counts of selling meth. And I told him what an idiot he was. And he's, I bet you $100 we do. And I told the marshals, I said, look at this clown. He's going to bet me $100. And I guarantee you, when he loses, he won't even pay it. He'll weasel out of it, which he did. Finally, the marshals run him off. Tell him to get out of there. A couple more minutes go by, and I'm like, look, guys, what the heck is up? And they say, well, you know, if they don't get a hold of us in the next 5 or 10 minutes, you know, we'll go ahead and book you in. I said, please do. You know, if somebody wants to talk to me, now's the time. Don't wait till I'm booked in and stuff and then want favors. About that time, the phone rings, and the marshal hangs up with him and says, hey, they'll be here in about 5 minutes, and I just want you to know that they're going to have hoods on. I'm like, huh? And he said, well, they're undercover. They don't want their identity known, and they'll be wearing hoods. I'm like, okay. I'm glad he told me that. No sooner than they sat down and one guy on the very right started to say something. I'm like, dude, you was in the red pickup truck. You take your hood right. I know who the hell you are. And he did. And they proceeded from there and told me how they had me on 2 counts of sales of marijuana. Nothing to do with meth. They tried to set me up on meth, but that didn't happen. And that's in the report too. Not that they tried to set me up, but when they asked me about it, I told them I might have known someone. I gave him a phone number, and I guess he got it from him. He called me up at night and said he was by there to pick it up. Could he bring it over and weigh it? And I told him, no, no, I don't have nothing to do with that shit. I don't allow it in, on, or around my vehicles, no. And that was actually in the report, which I was surprised. They was honest about that. But the guy that set me up, he's the one that got caught on meth. So anyhow, what could you do? They had me. 2 counts sells marijuana. Come on now. You had a snitch there that got caught with meth. And to get out of a charge, you know, he sold pot to me so they could charge me. You know how that goes. And, you know, the cop in there and, you know, controlled by twice. They got you. From that standpoint, they got you. What they didn't know that they had was a person like me, that I need proof. People tell me I'm on a spinning ball going through the galaxies, and I don't think we are. I used to run a ride called the Gravitron. I spun every day, and we're not on a spinning ball. Maybe we're on a ball in a stationary, but we're not on a spinning ball. We're not on a spinning ball. So anyhow, the charge was 2 counts of sales of marijuana. And of course they wanted me to plead out guilty, you know, take drug court. They go ahead. The undercover tell me if I snitch off 3 people, this all goes away. And I gave him the middle finger, and I gave him the pinky, and I said, you can snitch this. And he's, what's that? And I said, a feather, because you ain't worth a full bird. And booked me. And that's what they did. They proceeded to book me into the Farmington jail in Farmington, New Mexico. 2 counts of marijuana, spacing 10 years, 5 years on each count. And I did it. You know, I did it. What can I say? I mean, I would think to be charged with sales, I would have made something, a hit off of it, a smell, anything, but I didn't. So maybe I transported it. But anyway, I told them flat out that they have to prove it in court. Oh, here comes. Oh, I'm doing good, Mr. Green. Here comes the best part, though. So they give me the first public pretender. Okay, I see my very first public pretender, and he asked me what I want to do, and I said not guilty. And he, wants to know. And I said, I want it to go to jury. I want them to prove to the jury what narcotic is in marijuana, because I don't think there is one. And I've got a couple chemist friends that say they want to go to court and prove there is none. I want to do that. And he said, okay, yeah, no problem. So the very next day we get in front of the judge, and I guess that lawyer, the public pretender, forgot what we talked about, or it stunk in, because he tells the judge, Your Honor, I'd like to recuse myself from this case. And the judge let him. He didn't really give a reason, and the judge let him recuse himself. So I get my next public pretender. Same thing, I go with him, what I wanted to do, what I wanted him to prove, not guilty, take it to jury. Well, we get in front of the judge, and he says the opposite of what I said. He was talking about making a probation deal, drug court, this, that, and the other. I asked the judge, I said, who the heck is this guy? And he said, it's your lawyer. And I said, it ain't my lawyer. He ain't not a lawyer, So I fired that guy. Okay, they thought they'd pull a sneaky one. They made me think they was hiring me a private lawyer, but he actually was a public defender that worked on private law too and had his own office. He didn't work out of the public defender's office. I didn't know all this at the time. Anyhow, something told me to turn my phone on record before I went in the office. Now, here's the thing about that. If you live in a state that's called a one-party state, turn your phone on and record every chance you get. As long as you're in one of the parties, it's totally legal. And man, did it ever save my butt on this one. My new lawyer, Cosmo Repo in Farmington, New Mexico, proceeded to tell me when I got in his office that he wasn't calling evidence or witnesses, that I had pissed someone off. I was going to do DOC, Department of Corrections, and to get out of his office, he'd see me in court. My jaw about hit the ground when he tells me that, you know what I mean? What the heck? I couldn't wait to get back home and burn it on a disc. I go down to the public defender's office, and I'm like, you got 15 minutes to get somebody on this, or la-di-da. It wasn't 5 minutes. The head of public pretenders I've been trying to talk to for weeks, all of a sudden he's got time to talk to me. And back then my name was Stevens, and he said, Mr. Stevens, we got a problem here. You got a mouse in your pocket? I don't have a problem. You got a problem. What are we going to do about it? And he said, well, we got to hire you outside counsel. And I happened to think, well, do you have Eric Marlowe? Now, whether planting that seed in his head helped or not, I don't know. He told me he didn't know who they had, that their secretaries would be in contact with me. The next day, I get a call, Eric Marlowe. Now, the reason I said that, he told me for $5,000, he could get me off. I go meet Eric Marlowe. He looks at me. I look at him. He's like, hey, I don't care who pays me. How do you want to do this? And I told him, just like I told you at the beginning, I want to take it all the way to jury, and I want them to bring in a chemist and declare for us once and for all what narcotic is marijuana. And let me bring in one or two, to testify against that's not, And they said, yeah, okay, He says, we'll set you up. And we did. We pled not guilty and stuff that day at court. I get a call from him the very next day. And he says, don't blow up until you hear everything. Well, that's not just putting a gun in your head. That's pulling the trigger back, too. He said, don't blow up till you hear everything. He gets to the part that they want to have me psychiatric evaluated. I blow up a bit. And he said, whoa, wait a minute. He said, you sound very, very passionate about this marijuana thing. I'm like, yeah, nobody should be in jail, and I shouldn't be in jail, and it's bullshit over there. He said, well, here's a get out of jail free card for a year. Maybe you could use it to some good. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he says, well, as long as you don't commit a crime that has violence, you'll go in front of the judge and you'll be kicked out the next day. But if it includes violence, they hold you over. And I'm like, huh? And he says, well, if you go rob a place or something and get caught, but you don't touch anybody, you're going to be kicked out of court the next day. But if you hit, slap, trip, or do something, any type of violence while you do it, then you're not going to be released. You're going to be held over. I'm like, wow, And he said, yeah, they can only evaluate you once a year. Well, he said, do me a favor and at least think about it. And I told him, okay. Well, that night I had my vision, dream, whatever, with the very first RV, which didn't look just like this, but you go look at the pictures, it got attention like this. And the Cannabus was born, the original Cannabus. And I took all the decals, well, most of the decals off. It still had some of the original decals on it. I painted a bunch of pot leaves and a couple crosses and hearts on it. And my journey began March 1st of 2013 in Farmington, New Mexico. 2017, I lost the very first Cannabus to a fire in Knoxville, Tennessee. And in honor of it, a vet donated this one for $1,000. And it was named the Cannabus 2 because it took over where the first Cannabus, went out. So that's how this became the Cannabus 2. Well, 3 years later, I was trying to get off the road, and I donated it to a veteran that was going to, get on the road in Topeka, Kansas, and help the Kansas thing and whatnot. Well, that didn't work out. My family lost their home due to the plague here in Colorado, and they're in Colorado, and they had to move back to Arizona. And the veteran gave me the RV back. So when he gave it back to me, of course, I renamed it to the Cannabus 2.4 and gave it a whole new paint job. Now, I was really seriously thinking about never getting back on the road or anything last year when I come off because it was due to elder abuse, a couple of trolls and stuff, and it's really, really, really dangerous. I'm so glad the lady didn't actually, I'm glad she slammed on the brakes and didn't continue doing what she looked like she was going to, and was trying to do there in Topeka when she hit me with her car, bumped me with her car. There's some crazy people out here no matter what, even though I'm not doing nothing except trying to get our cannabis prisoners free and stuff. And there's liars out there that make up stories. But anyhow, between that and my vision, because I didn't know at the time I had a torn retina. I just knew that I didn't feel safe like I had the other prior 10 years with my vision going. So here about 5 months ago, I think it was my first eye surgery. They put a gas bubble. They did whatever they did to repair the retina, and then they put a gas bubble in this eye. And I went to 5 weeks, and it got small and small. My vision almost was great, and then it went blurry again. And the retina detached again. So a couple months ago, they actually took the eye out, put a rubber band around it, and filled it with silicone oil. And I've got like black and white and a little wavy type blurry, but I do have some vision. And here in a couple weeks, I get to go back, and they're going to take it out, rinse the silicone out, take the rubber band off. I don't know if they're going to fill it with gas again or not. A friend of mine's, when they did his, they put gas in his, so I don't know if I go through that again or not. But the cataract surgeon is going to come in after the retina surgeon at the same sleeping, setting, surgery, or whatever, and do the cataract. Oh man, I've done 36 states, my friend. I've been coast to coast. 2 years ago, I went coast to coast, California to Starks, Maine. Yeah. I'm gonna say, go to Google and type in 4 JIM, and just scroll. And if you really want to do some searching, you can go all the way back to 2013. I'm serious. I've made headline news in Texas. The state of Texas. I've been on Amarillo News. I've been on Lubbock, Texas News. KMAC News in Kansas, Wichita, Kansas. KMAC News. Yeah, I was on that. Yeah. But see, the trick is not to be that big fish, or I couldn't have done this for 10 years, trying to build it up and all. But this is our chance. And if I can get everybody behind me this year and sign the petitions, we can do it. Get me the numbers. I'll take it to Trump. I'll take them to Trump. Get me the numbers. I'll take the petition, drive it right up to the White House. Let them know, hey, we're out here. Let's get this done, America. Nobody belongs in jail for weed. Now, if they're in there for something else, they got to set that time out. But all weed charges should be dismissed throughout the United States of America. They should destroy everybody's record on weed. It's all been a lie. William Randolph Hearst named it marijuana. If you really want to get down to the facts, get your head out of the King James Bible. I believe in Yahweh and Yahshua with all my heart, okay? But get out of the King James Bible. Go to one before that, like the Hebrew Bible. Look up Exodus 30:23. It's going to knock your socks off. You know what Exodus 30:23 will tell you? That cannabosum, marijuana, was in the anointing oil. No, we're not supposed to be smoking pot. We're not. Are we supposed to be using that plant? Hell yeah. And why do you think we got all the health troubles and everything we do to this day? And they took it away. One of the most healthiest, beneficial plants on earth, they took away. Everybody's body produces that same THC that's in that plant. And when a lady has breast milk, her natural levels are 8 times higher. It gives pain relief and hunger to the fetus as it develops in the womb. Okay? There's just a lot of things out there, folks, that we've been lied to so much over the time. And we got a chance to stop some of it. So please join me here time to time. Oh, you're from Wichita? My friends own a smoke shop just outside of Wichita called Dude Smell This. But, oh heck, look. See that no victim, no crime thing? That's from Kansas. That's my friends have Fired Up Kansas. The group Fired Up Kansas. Yeah, me and them hooked up and did barbecues together and stuff. Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know about me. Yeah, that seal used to be on one of the windows, but I repainted it and I had to take it off. I'm going to incorporate it somewhere else at some point. That's why I took it off so carefully. But hey, my friends, I do have to get out of here. I'm doing YouTubes every day now. I've just started this channel back up. Please join me here. A thumbs up, a subscription, a thumbs down, a hi, a bye. Any reaction really helps. Really, really. If you'd like to help with the mission, that's my Cash App. Send a couple dollars. I'll put a pot leaf across something on here for you. Friend sent $20 and he had me make him that cross there. I love it. This one is for elder abuse. And that one is to release our pot prisoners. I normally do live on Facebook almost every evening. I'll probably do one tonight. I'm not 100% sure. I'll post whether I am or not here shortly. But I'll probably do a small one tonight, depending on my battery here. But I shall be back tomorrow, right here on YouTube. Good Lord will, and the creek don't rise. Help me by spreading my message and my channel and my petitions, please. Therefore, you're helping every prisoner, state and federal, get out of jail for pot. I guarantee you, if we get enough people up, we'll get Trump to do that. And he needs to knock it out of a class 1. because everybody needs their gun rights back under federal law, especially this day and age. This iffy thing of whether you can own one or not. Yeah. Well, all you got to do is a little research and you'll find out. I don't lie. So, states will tell you, yeah, you can have them. Federal law says you can't. Federal law trumps state. All they do is say, we're cutting you off. We're cutting your money off. And that's it. States do what the federal government wants. Peace, love, and cannabis for all. One team, one dream, united we stand. And if we try, folks, we can all get along. My fur babies, Lilu and Jack, love you. I love you. Never forget Jesus loves you. Hope to see you tomorrow or this evening on Facebook. Peace out.